seeding, all right? Might be a little bit of confusion of what's going on seeding-wise with the Lions. A lot of people in Philly, we control our own destiny. No, you don't, nigga. No, you don't, but let's talk about it. Check out the Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Hit the link tree, find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Now, what's going on here, my good brothers and sisters, is Philadelphia's ending the season out. Washington, New York, and Dallas in some order, right? New York and Dallas is a given. Dallas is trying to get, New York is trying to get number one seed. Dallas is trying to get seed. No more givens. So if they do lose a particular game, the Eagles, it possibly will be the Commanders, which I don't have seen what I see from the Saints. Not going to be good enough. So the Lions and Vikings have to win out to get the number one overall seed. Well, the Vikings can't. I don't think the Vikings can get it. I think they might have a tiebreaker over Philly because depending on the common opponents, Philly lost to Atlanta and Minnesota beat Atlanta. So I don't know. First tiebreaker is common opponents. So in my opinion, Minnesota might have a tiebreaker depending on the common opponents' records over the Eagles. But Minnesota end their season off at home versus Green Bay. I think they might be at Seattle this week, or at home versus Seattle, at home versus Green Bay, and end off at Detroit. We end up playing Chicago this week. Hopefully that's a W. Go to Santa Clara next week in the 49ers. They kind of banged up, and they can win that. Then it sets up Minnesota for the division and maybe possibly for the number one seed, right? But if Seattle and Green Bay can beat Minnesota one more time, I don't think it would matter at that point. As long as the Lions went out, and if Philly lose one more time, but I don't see Philly losing. So it's very important that the Lions probably get that number one seed because they need that extra week of rest. That may allow Anazoni a week to get ready. That may allow a week for Rackstraw, Khalif Raymond, and them dudes to really shake off the rust. Whoever else is going to be prepared to come back. It's a long shot that Mars come back. It's a long shot that Kaminsky can come back. So the further and further they get into these playoffs, they can get people back. So they will literally have to probably win one game before Carlton Davis is ready to come back. If they can get them to bye, which it's an if at this point. If they can get the bye, Carlton Davis, one game you can see him back after the season, right? So that's that. Kaminsky could be trending to come back any given part of the run or not come back. Outside chance that Barnes will come back. But some of the guys you probably definitely going to get back is, like, why was you all the way in the third lane, Playboy, if you was getting all? I just be wondering. I really be wondering where these drivers get their license from. You guys know you supposed to be over here. You jump all the way to the third line. It's crazy. But so those are pretty much the scenarios. Those are the scenarios. So, but yeah, for the most part, the Lions got to win. If Philly don't lose next week, which they won't lose next. The Lions win out. They got it. They got it. And it's possible. I mean, the toughest game is going to be Minnesota, but guess what? You at home versus Minnesota. Regardless, that's going to be each game is tough. Probably the toughest. And that's going to be a momentum building game. By that time, you should be getting some guys back. You should be getting some guys back by that time. So yeah, you should be getting some guys back. So this is an opportunity for Broderick Martin to step up. There's an opportunity for a lot of these guys to step up. So it's a lot of opportunity for that to happen. So, and in the process, you can crush the Vikings. If you can beat them, I mean, you crushing them. So, Bears this week, 49ers, I don't know if they want to shut it down. and they having a lot of issues over there. I mean, it's the Super Bowl curse. That come with the territory. The Super Bowl curse, that come with the territory. The Super Bowl runner-up curse, that come with the territory. But honestly, man, but honestly, you know, it's the playoffs for the Lions. It's a nice playoff experience for a lot of these young guys, man, playing in there. And they got experience kind of playing shorthanded defensively. You know, last year they played with bum corners. You know. Who was the other safety? Oh, Melifanu came in, became the other safety next week. His practice window opened back up again. It opened up before, if you remember. He just wasn't ready. So, he been injured the whole season. So, then you get Rackstraw back. That should give you some depth there. The thing about Rackstraw and Vitor, Rackstraw got a lot of more natural talent, and the more reps he get, the better he gonna get. For Vitor, he is what he is at this point. You know, there was a rumor out there today, Lions were gonna work out Sue and what's the other brother's name? I think it was another one, and Xavier Howard. What's the thing about Xavier Howard is he's a man cover corner. That's what he do. He play man-to-man defense. And the question is, what type of shape he in? Yeah, he fresh, but what type of conditioning he in? So, but the true, it's gonna be. But they got really they got 4 really good. This show the depth of this team is fucking phenomenal. They still got 4 really, really good defensive linemen. Think about their starting defensive linemen, and these are guys other than Reader that was original starters this year. Josh Pascal at the end, Zadarius Smith at the end, Levon Anzarike, and they still got DJ Reader playing the middle. That's still a phenomenal defensive line. Now the depth get a little bit sketchy outside of that. Because you lost Makai Wingo, you lost Broderick Martin, you lost some guys in the middle of that defense, but the depth that's still a really good starting defensive line. I mean, you throw Jack Campbell in there. They was asking Jack to do everything on last Sunday. Rush the passer, spy Josh Allen, cover the tight ends, and he did a great job. It wasn't him that was getting cooked. Not like that. So, I mean, this is really interesting, but really, they went out, and I think it's very important they went out to stay at home and get that week of rest. Then you get the weakest team. Then by that time you're gonna get a lot of guys back. Possibly Kaminsky, possibly Carlton Davis. By that time, Khalif, which we missed him at the end of last year, Rackstraw, F.A. So now you're going to start to get deeper and deeper. Mosley, Martin, you're going to start to get deeper and deeper and deeper. Anazzoni. So you start to get those guys back. You just got to get through 4 games. 3 games for sure. You got to get to these next 3. And you got to get through that divisional round. If you get to them, the Lions got a great chance just being healthy. But if you outside chance you can bring back one of these guys that may not be on track to come back, if it's Barnes, Kaminsky, or somebody, if you can bring back one of those guys that ain't projected to come back, that's a huge win. I'm telling you, that's a huge win. But hey, all roads still lead through Detroit. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We was go live or drop video financially. Want to support the channel? Cash App $CJ Good 313. Venmo CJ Good 313. PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree. You can find me everywhere. Peace.